Hello and welcome to Freya's tropical garden. Winter is upon us now and there's not much that's looking great in the garden at the moment, but November has been an interesting month, so here's what we've got coming up for you in today's episode. I visit Kew Gardens Lily House, everything you need to know about growing aloes, and there is the draw for my final competition of the year. But first, let's take a look at what's changed since my last episode. November has been a mostly mild month in the garden, with plenty of autumn colour still holding on. But this past week has brought the colder weather. Our first frosts have arrived, and even a flurry of snow, though it didn't settle here like it has in other parts of the UK. Of course, with those colder nights, the garden has started to go into its winter dormancy, with plants like cannas that were still flowering now dying back to ground level and have been cut back. One plant that's still looking good despite all the frosts is my Melianthus major, or the honey plant. This plant is hardy in milder areas of the UK, and if it isn't cut back by the frosts this year, then it is likely to flower the following year, so I'm really hoping that this does manage to keep going throughout winter. Salvia amistad has been flowering throughout the autumn months. Its deep purple flowers have carried on right through November, standing out beautifully against the fading foliage around them. The recent frosts have finally brought that display to a close, but it's been a reminder of how reliable this variety can be for extending the season. I'll be cutting it back now and hoping to see fresh growth in spring. It's not reliably hardy, and although it does often come back the following year, I normally take cuttings from which I have had to rely on to repopulate the plant. This year, however, my indoor space is more limited, so I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that I don't lose it. Salvia Bethelii has also been flowering late into the season, with tall stems topped by striking pink flowers, adding height and bringing colour at this time of year. Like amistad, it's held on until the frosts arrived last week. So far this plant has come back reliably each year, so I'm hoping that my lack of cuttings this year won't be a gamble too far. Dahlia Café au lait has also been flowering right through November, with these large cream and pink flowers adding real presence to the garden. Even as the season winds down, it's kept producing, which has been lovely to see this late in the year. I will keep the pots in a drier location over winter to stop the rhizomes from rotting, but they should cope with the lowest temperatures we would expect to see here on the south coast. Fatsia japonica is also in flower this month, producing these distinctive clusters of creamy white flowers. They stand out against the evergreen dark glossy leaves, giving the plant some winter interest. The flowers will be followed by attractive berries, making it an important plant to keep the garden looking alive through winter. Earlier this month, Hedychium coccineum came into flower, adding a burst of bright orange to the garden. Its tall stems and exotic flowers stood out against the autumn backdrop, bringing a real sense of warmth before the colder weather set in. The flowers have now faded, but it was a striking display while it lasted. Even a short burst of colour from this ginger makes it well worth growing. Many of my Hedychium gingers have moved into my grow tent for winter, but this one stays outside along with Hedychium densiflorum, which has died back to ground level now. Unusually for November, I had a gladiolus come into flower this month. The summer drought had effectively dry stored the corms in the soil, delaying their growth, and that meant the flower appeared much later than expected. It was surprised to see the splash of pink at this time of year. The holly is absolutely covered in berries this month, bringing a real splash of colour to the garden. The glossy green leaves and bright red clusters stand out beautifully against the more subdued autumn tones. It's a classic sign that winter is approaching, and those berries will provide food for birds through the colder weeks ahead. Right now is one of the most striking features in the garden, carrying that traditional seasonal look as November draws to a close. Mahonias are also flowering now, sending up those bright yellow clusters that really stand out against its dark, spiky leaves. At this time of year, with so much of the garden is slowing down, it brings a welcome splash of colour and structure. The flowers often carry a slight scent, adding a bit of life even in late November. Right now, it's one of the plants helping to bridge the garden into winter, with foliage and flowers working together to hold interest. The wisteria seed pods are beginning to turn brown now, and I've put mesh bags over them to catch the seeds as they split. It's a simple way to stop them scattering and make sure that I can collect them safely, as they scatter the seeds explosively when they ripen, making it difficult to catch them at the optimum time. The pods themselves add an interesting texture to the plant at this time of year, hanging amongst the bare stems. And with the bags in place, I'll be able to save the seeds for future sowing. My Strobilanthes, Diariana and Irisine Herbstii have both been left outside this month, and they were still bringing colour to the garden before the frosts came. Their foliage adds vivid contrast and late colour. As tender plants, they won't be likely to survive the cold for long, although it is possible for the Strobilanthes to survive milder winters. But cuttings can be taken now to preserve them, and I have made room for cuttings of both of these plants this year. My Justica floribunda has been brought inside now, but it's once more covered in these stunning flowers. The clusters of orange-red colour are a striking sight at this time of year, brightening up the indoor space just as the garden slows down outside. This is a plant that needs consistently moist soil and bright indirect light, and is a fantastic winter houseplant if conditions are favourable. Impatiens neamneamensis, sometimes called the parrot plant, is still adding colour with its striking red and yellow flowers. The flowers have a distinctive shape, almost like little beaks, and they stand out brightly against the green foliage. I've brought this indoors now as it's not hardy, but it can be kept going with cuttings. Similarly, Impatiens aureocoma bicordata has been flowering this month with more unusual flowers adding a splash of colour. The flowers have again got a distinctive shape and softer shades than the neamneamensis. It's also not hardy, but cuttings can be taken. The ginkgo tree has been changing colour this month, with its fan-shaped leaves shifting to a clear golden yellow. The colour really stands out, and it's one of the most striking foliage displays of late autumn. The leaves are now beginning to fall, but I've germinated my very first ginkgo seedling. It's only small for now, but I will be protecting it indoors while it's young. As you may be aware from my previous videos, I have been slowly digging the garden up in preparation for the imminent house move. Although this may still be another year away, I've just dug up my gunnera and surrounding plants so that I can return the bed to grass. It's another step closer to getting the garden ready for the move, though it's heartbreaking to be gradually undoing all this hard work. My gunnera Acalypiana was knocked back by the frosts, and I've brought this into the grow tent now because it's not as hardy as the Tinctoria. Just a reminder that next year the format of these videos will be changing slightly, and I won't be producing these longer episodes, but I will still be releasing the same content, and there will be the same one video a week released on Sundays, though a higher number of them will be my plant profile shorts, and there will be less frequent garden updates. I'm only intending this to be a temporary change to free up some time while I write my book, so please stick with me and provide plenty of feedback in the comments or on social media on how you're finding the changes to help me plan how the following year will look. If there are any topics you'd like to see in future videos, then please let me know. Coming up next is competition time, and we've got the draw for my last competition. Last month I offered viewers a chance to win one Strelitzia reginae or one Strelitzia Nicolai plant. Now it's time to do the draw, and I have had 9 entries into this competition. The winner will get to choose which plant they want, provided they email me within 1 week. And I'm using the wheel of names to draw my winners today. Good luck to everyone who entered. And the first winner is Rob Wilson 6079. Congratulations, Rob. Now we're going to draw the second winner. And it's Tropical Gloss. Congratulations, Tropical Gloss and Rob. Please email me at freyastropicalgarden@gmail.com to claim your prize. This is the last competition for this year, but thank you to everyone who has entered. Up next, we've got the final part of my series on Kew Gardens, which is taking a look at the Lily House. Nestled in the heart of London, Kew Gardens spans over 300 acres and houses the world's most diverse botanical collection. The Lily House was constructed in 1852 to accommodate the giant Amazonian water lily, Victoria amazonica, whose floating leaves can span over a metre wide. It remains one of the most humid glasshouses on site, housing a mixture of tropical aquatic plants, as well as several other terrestrial species that thrive in this environment. This year it was Victoria Cruziana, which was the centrepiece attraction. It is native to South America and produces leaves that can be more than 2 metres in diameter. The leaf margins curve upwards, forming a rim that aids buoyancy. Flowers open in the evening, initially white, then turning pink on the second night. Unlike Victoria amazonica, Cruziana can tolerate cooler water temperatures, but it is not frost hardy. There are several varieties of Nymphaea, or water lilies, on display here. The genus itself includes over 50 species and numerous hybrids. These rooted aquatics produce floating leaves and emergent flowers. Most species open in the morning and close by late afternoon, and can flower in white, yellow, pink, red, blue or violet. Kew's Kabuki is a hybrid developed at Kew. It features compact growth and petals with deep magenta and violet tones. Green smoke is notable for its smoky green petals with lavender tips. It is valued for its unusual coloration and fragrance. Violacea palm river is a wild species from northern Australia, which displays violet blooms and demonstrates a high heat tolerance. St. Louis gold is a yellow hybrid with a starburst floral form. It's used to brighten shaded aquatic displays. Carlos Magdelena is a soft pink cultivar named in honour of Kew's botanical horticulturalist, recognised for his conservation work. Albert Greenberg is a coral pink hybrid with vigorous growth, frequently used in public aquatic plantings. Kew Stowaway Blues is a compact cultivar with cool-toned petals, suitable for small tanks and shaded environments. Water lilies represent one of the earliest diverging lineages of flowering plants, with fossil evidence dating back over 100 million years. Their adaptation for aquatic life includes air-filled petioles, floating leaves, and specialised pollination strategies. Nymphoides is a genus of aquatic flowering plants in the family Menianthaceae. These species grow best in calm, shallow waters, such as ponds or slow-moving rivers. The genus name refers to their resemblance to Nymphaea, though they are a distinct group of plants. Nymphoides Crenata is commonly known as wavy marshwort or yellow water snowflake, and is native to Australia. It produces bright yellow fringed flowers above heart-shaped floating leaves. The plant spreads via stolons or runners, with stems reaching up to 3 meters long, making it effective for covering open water surfaces. Nymphoides Beaglensis, or the beagle marshwort, is a lesser-known species within the genus. It's native to Australia and has white to pinkish-purple flowers. Nymphoides Ezannoi is another rare species listed amongst accepted taxa in global plant databases. Like others in the genus, it features sympetallous or tubular flowers, typically divided into 5 lobes, often yellow or white. These species contribute to aquatic biodiversity and offer habitat benefits in wetland ecosystems. Cyprus papyrus is native to Africa and is a tall sedge with triangular stems and umbrella-like umbels. Historically used to make paper in ancient Egypt, it now serves as a dramatic marginal plant in tropical displays. The Lily House in Kew Gardens hosts a range of tropical species beyond aquatic plants, each adapted to high humidity and filtered light. Acalypha is a genus in the Euphorbiaceae family, comprising over 400 species of flowering plants. These are primarily tropical shrubs and herbs known for their striking foliage and flowers. Acalypha Hispida is also known as the chenille plant or red-hot cat's tails and is native to New Guinea. It's an evergreen shrub with ovate green leaves and fuzzy red or pink flower spikes, up to 45 centimeters long. Acalypha Chamaedrifolia is a compact, low-growing species native to the Caribbean. It produces bright red or pink tail-like flowers and thrives in humid coastal environments. Its serrated green leaves and dense habit make it suitable for borders and containers. Acalypha Macrostachya is a lesser-known species within the genus, characterized by large flowers and is occasionally used in tropical landscaping. These species are valued for their ornamental appeal and adaptability to warm, humid climates. Pseuderanthemum is a genus in the Acanthaceae family, comprising of tropical shrubs known for ornamental foliage and small tubular flowers. Pseuderanthemum Versicolor features variegated leaves with green, cream, and pink tones. It is cultivated for its striking foliage and compact growth, thriving in warm, humid environments with filtered light. Ipomoea Mauritiana is a fast-growing vine with pink to red trumpet-shaped flowers, native to tropical Africa and the Americas. It produces large tuberous roots and is used in traditional medicine. Asplenium nidus cobra is a cultivar of the bird's nest fern. Its glossy, wavy fronds emerge from a central rosette. This epiphytic fern thrives in humid, shaded environments and contributes to the forest-like canopy effect. Crinum americanum, or the swamp lily, is a bulbous perennial native to southeastern United States and the Caribbean. It produces fragrant white spidery flowers above strap-like leaves and prefers shallow water or saturated soil. Ruellia simplex, known as the Mexican petunia, is a herbaceous plant with lance-shaped leaves and trumpet-shaped purple flowers. It spreads readily and blooms throughout the warm season. Pachystachys lutea, or the lollipop plant, is a compact shrub with bright yellow bracts and protruding white flowers. Native to Peru, it flowers over a long season and is used for colour contrast in tropical beds. Mimosa pudica, the sensitive plant, is known for its rapid leaf-folding response to touch, produces pink puffball flowers, and is often grown for its interactive foliage. Heterotis rotundifolia, or the Spanish shawl, is a creeping ground cover from tropical Africa. It bears small pink to purple flowers and rounded leaves, forming dense mats in humid environments. Dipsis decarii, the triangle palm, is native to Madagascar. Its fronds emerge in 3 vertical ranks, forming a triangular crown. It's slow-growing and valued for architectural form. Strobilanthes sinuata, sometimes called dragon's tongue, is a tropical shrub with violet-blue tubular flowers. It's native to Southeast Asia and thrives in humid, filtered light. Alamander blanchettii, or purple alamander, is a woody climber from Brazil. It produces large, trumpet-shaped purple flowers and is used as a tropical ornamental in warm climates. Pavonia gledhillii is a hybrid in the mallow family, with upright growth and purple-red flowers. It is often confused with Pavonia multiflora, but is distinguished by its hybrid origin and floral structure. Next up is a must-watch if you're interested in succulents. This is a video on aloes. Aloes are a group of succulents native to Africa, Madagascar, and the Arabian Peninsula. They typically grow in rosettes with spiny leaf margins and tall flower spikes. They are flowering plants and often produce tubular flowers that attract birds and insects, while their seeds are typically dispersed by wind. There are over 500 species in the genus Aloe. These plants have evolved to survive extreme drought conditions by storing water in their thick, fleshy leaves, a strategy known as succulents. In the UK, aloes are usually grown as houseplants, although there are some hardier varieties. They can be tiny and compact, perfect for growing on windowsills, while others can grow into towering tree-like structures. This video will provide information about their identification, evolution, care tips, medicinal uses, conservation, and reproduction, as well as taking a closer look at some of the more noteworthy species. Aloes are often mistaken for agaves. Both are succulents with fleshy, spiky leaves and the same rosette shapes, but they're actually from different plant families and even different continents. Agaves are native to the Americas and belong to the Asparagaceae family, which include yuccas and cordylines. Aloes are generally African plants in the Asphodelaceae family, which includes Hemerocalis or daylilies, and Nymphophea or red-hot pokers. One key difference between aloes and agaves is the sap. Cut an aloe leaf and you'll see yellow or clear gel. Agaves produce a milky sap. Aloe flowers are tubular and usually orange, red or yellow, flowering many times in their life cycle, while agave flowers are often branched and dramatic. They only flower once before they die. Other similar succulents include Haworthia, Haworthiopsis, and Gasteria, and these have softer leaves and different flower structures. Aloes are now considered to belong to the wider Asphodelaceae family, having been reclassified in 2016. They were previously in the Xanthuriaceae or grass tree family. Recent DNA studies revealed that the genus Aloe isn't a single evolutionary group. Botanists found that some species were more closely related to each other than to the rest of the genus. To reflect this, they've reclassified several species into new genera. Aloe plicatillus, with its fan-shaped leaves, became Kumara plicatillus. Tree-like species like Aloe barbarae are now known as Aloedendron. Climbing or scrambling types like Aloes striatula were renamed to Aloeampelos. These changes help us understand how aloes evolved, adapting to different habitats, growth forms, and pollinators. Aloes likely originated in South Africa, first diversifying around 16 to 20 million years ago, long before humans evolved, and around the time that conditions there became drier. Prior to this time, their ancestors would have had more grass-like leaves, such as the daylilies and red-hot pokers that they are related to. In the UK, aloes are mostly grown indoors or in greenhouses. They need bright light, ideally a sunny windowsill or conservatory. Water deeply but infrequently, allowing the soil to dry out between waterings. Overwatering is the most common mistake and can cause rot. To avoid this, use a cactus mix or add grit to the compost for drainage. Most aloes prefer temperatures above 10 degrees C. Hardy species like Aloe aristata can tolerate light frost, but most need protection in winter. Repot when roots outgrow the container and feed lightly in spring and summer. Aloes don't need much fuss, just light, warmth and patience. Aloe's healing reputation dates back thousands of years to when Egyptians used it in embalming. Romans applied it to wounds, and it's also mentioned in biblical texts. Today, aloe vera gel is used in skincare, sunburn relief, and digestive aids. Aloe ferox produces a bitter sap used in laxatives. Aloe arborescens is used in traditional medicine across Africa. But not all aloes are safe internally. Some can be toxic in large doses or to pets. Always research before use and avoid ingesting aloe products unless they're specifically prepared for that purpose. Many wild aloe species are under threat. Habitat loss, overharvesting by collectors, and climate change are shrinking their native ranges. The iconic Aloedendron dichotomum, or quiver tree, is now listed as vulnerable. Rising temperatures and shifting rainfall patterns are affecting its ability to reproduce. Conservation efforts include seed banks, protected reserves, and cultivation programs. Botanical gardens play a key role in preserving rare species. As growers, we can help by sourcing plants ethically, avoiding wild collected specimens, and supporting organisations to protect aloe habitats. Aloes reproduce in two main ways: offsets and seeds. Offsets or pups grow at the base and can be separated to form new plants. It's the easiest way to propagate aloes at home. Flowering aloes produce seeds after pollination, often by sunbirds or bees. Some aloes rarely flower in cultivation, especially indoors. Hybridization is common in both nature and in nurseries. Hybrids combine traits like compact growth, colourful blooms, or cold tolerance. Aloes can also be grown from leaf cutting, although with much lower success rate. To take a cutting, cut a healthy stem section and allow it to dry and callus for 2 to 3 days before planting in sandy soil and watering lightly. The most famous of all aloes, aloe vera, is prized for its soothing gel. It's likely a hybrid cultivated for centuries across the Mediterranean and Middle East. Its leaves contain polysaccharides and enzymes that help cool burns and moisturize skin. Though common, it rarely flowers indoors and prefers warm, dry conditions. Native to South Africa, Aloe ferox is taller and tougher than aloe vera. Its bitter sap is used in traditional medicines as a laxative. The plant produces dramatic red-orange flower spikes and thrives in rocky terrain. It's also harvested commercially, though wild populations need protection. Aloe arborescens is a shrubby aloe that forms dense clusters and blooms with fiery red flowers. It's used in folk medicine and often planted as a living fence in Africa. Aloe arborescens is more cold tolerant than aloe vera, making it a good candidate for UK greenhouses or more sheltered gardens. Known as the mountain aloe, Aloe marlothii is a spiny architectural species with upright leaves and tall flower spikes. It grows in high-altitude grasslands and can reach over 3 meters tall. Its flowers often lean sideways, a trait linked to sunbird pollination. Aloe polyphylla, or the spiral aloe, is a visual marvel. Native to Lesotho, it forms perfect spirals with 150 leaves arranged clockwise or counterclockwise. It's endangered in the wild and notoriously difficult to grow, needing cool temperatures and excellent drainage, but when thriving, it's unforgettable. Allodendron barbarae was formerly Aloe barbarae. This tree-like species is now classified as Allodendron, and it's one of the tallest succulents in the world, reaching up to 18 meters. Native to South Africa, it has smooth bark and branching limbs, often used in landscaping in warm climates. Kumara plicatilis, with its fan-shaped branching stems, is an unusual variety. Native to the Western Cape of South Africa, it prefers winter rainfall and rocky slopes. It was once known as Aloe plicatilis, but its unique form earned it a new genus. It's slow-growing but striking. Aloe humilis is a compact and spiky plant, ideal for growing in containers. Its leaves are covered in soft spines and it produces bright red flowers in spring. Native to the Eastern Cape, it tolerates cooler temperatures and is often confused with Haworthia, but its flowers give it away. Aloe dichotoma, or the quiver tree, is a desert icon. Its name comes from the San people, who used its hollow branches to make arrow quivers. It grows in Namibia and South Africa, forming sculptural silhouettes against the sky. Sadly, it's now vulnerable due to climate change. Well, that's all we've got time for in today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed watching Freya's Tropical Garden, and I'll see you next month for my Christmas episode. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please consider subscribing and turn on notifications. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or X for video updates as well as my flower of the day. And you can email me at freyastropicalgarden@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out my website at freyastropicalgarden.co.uk, where you can find a range of information including public gardens that I've visited and information on plants that have been shown on my videos. I've had so much fun making this video, but if you'd like to make a contribution towards running costs, you can do so via PayPal.